When I inherited my parents' ranch, I didn't see it as just land. To me, the wheat fields were family history, decades of work under the sun, harvest after harvest. The HOA, however, saw it differently. From day one, the president, a sharp-tongued woman named Karen, kept insisting that my acreage ruined the community's aesthetic. She said lawns and hedges looked proper, but wheat made us look like a farm town. She pressured me to sell, whispering about how they had big plans for development. Each time I gave the same answer. No, this land isn't for sale. That's when the harassment started. One morning, I stepped outside to find tire tracks slashing across my golden wheat, huge patches crushed flat. Days later, bags of trash appeared in the rows. Once, someone even dumped motor oil near the edge of the field. When I confronted Karen, she folded her arms and sneered. Maybe you'd be better off if you sold. Accidents like this won't stop until you do. I clenched my fists, but held back. I had a bigger card to play. I just didn't want to use it yet. The breaking point came one Saturday. I caught Karen's HOA lackeys on four-wheelers driving through my wheat, laughing like it was a joyride. I shouted, they sped off, and within an hour, sirens. Police cruisers rolled up my driveway. An officer approached, hand on his belt. Safir received a call that you're illegally farming and refusing lawful HOA orders to vacate the land. I blinked. Lawful HOA orders? On agricultural's owned property. Sure enough, Karen was across the street, phone in hand, smirking like she'd finally won. Arrest him, she barked. He's breaking community law? I should have laughed, but I stayed calm. Officer, I said, before you do anything, I think it's time you spoke to my wife. Now, my wife isn't just anyone. She's special agent in charge with a federal bureau I won't name here. And that morning she happened to be home, sipping coffee on the porch. She rose slowly, badge in hand, and strode over. Gentlemen, she said, voice sharp as steel, I oversee federal operations in this district. You're being manipulated by a homeowners association president with zero legal authority over this land. The officers stiffened. One asked for clarification, and my wife laid it out, the zoning papers, the agricultural rights, the false reports. Then she added the kicker, and by the way, tampering with crops, making fraudulent 911 calls, and orchestrating property damage. That's not just harassment. That's a crime. Karen's smirk dissolved. She stammered. She's lying. She's not. She can't. My wife calmly flashed her credentials again. Try me. What happened next spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. The officers turned their attention on Karen. One of them asked her to explain why witnesses had already reported seeing her people in my field. Another pointed out that the 911 call she made was recorded, and lying to emergency services was a chargeable offense. Karen panicked. She shouted about community standards, about how the wheat was ugly and unfit. She even tried to order the police around, which only dug her hole deeper. Finally, one of the officers sighed, cuffed her, and read her rights. She shrieked, kicking at the dirt, while neighbors peeked out of their windows, phones raised. The mighty HOA president arrested in front of everyone. In the aftermath, things unraveled fast. Without Karen's bullying, the HOA board fractured. A few members resigned outright, admitting they'd only gone along out of fear. Civil suits popped up over all the damage she'd caused, and my wife made sure the state attorney's office had everything they needed. As for me, I replanted my wheat. Neighbors, many of whom secretly hated Karen, even offered to help. By harvest, the field was standing tall again, golden and proud. Now, when I walk past that wheat, I think about the day Karen tried to use cops as her personal enforcers. She thought I was just a stubborn farmer. She didn't know she'd picked a fight with a family that plays by the law and enforces it. And in the end, the only thing that got uprooted wasn't my wheat. It was Karen.